On this episode, we discuss whether or not the new consoles, Xbox Series S and X, and the PlayStation 5 are worth it. Tune in. What is the deal, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of Lifestyles Defined another episode of That's the Lifestyles on the behalf of ignorant gamers.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
LDXIGZ.
We going ham on the gaming, you know what I mean?
It's all the same.
So, my name is Ramon.
The same. It's your boy Tawann. I'm not the kicks guard today because we talking some other shit today. So carry on, sir. Carry on.
What's good? It's your boy Snow. IGZ in the house. How you doing? How you living? How you gaming? Of course, if you don't already know, G stands for gamers. What up?
All right.
Yeah, because Sony about to get this.
We here to fight. We here to argue. We here to get reckless. We're talking about the new consoles.
Might get lengthy.
I will be doing something that none of you are used to. I will be firmly in the middle because I am PC master race and you console fucks are beneath me.
Yeah. That goes double.
Can I tell you a story, Tawann?
Sure.
I've known Snow for, it's got to be about 30 years.
Stop.
It's got to be about 30 years now. I know Snow.
I think you've known Snow about as long as you've known me.
Yeah.
No.
It's somewhere around there.
Somewhere
give or
around
take
there.
a few years.
Here we go.
Give or take a few years. And I said to this man, you know, I feel like I'm a pretty good first person shooter player. But something's missing. I could be better. He goes, nah, you good. I said, all right, cool. I come back another 2 years. I'm like, yo, fam, people are wilding on the mouse and keyboard. Like, he's like, nah, you good. Son.
This is him.
Yes, he deterred me. All these years,
Yeah.
son, he hid the goodness of mouse and keyboard from me. Now that I'm on the mouse and keyboard, I am fucking people up on Call of Duty, son. Do you hear me? So I'll come around a corner and kill 4 people to keep it moving on the same clip of ammo. And a very close friend kept it from me. So now this world is so strange.
Son.
So when you switch over, hold on.
Whoa. I just want to add to it. I just want to add to the shot.
Okay.
It's just a shot.
Straight across the bow, sir.
Son, this man, Snow, I recall gaming, and I was on the game that you were playing. You were learning the mouse and keyboard.
And it wasn't easy.
And I said, son, I was telling you, son, plug your controller back in. Plug your controller back in. And this man was saying the total opposite. So I want to know where he lands.
You're defending him is what, you know what I mean?
No. I want to know where he falls. What line does he fall on with mouse and keyboard versus the almighty controller?
I'll get into that in a second. But this is a perfect segue for the Among Us situation. Right now, Tawann, you would have to vote either Ramon or me out as the killer. Because he's going to vote on me to be eliminated. I'm going to vote on him to be eliminated. And with this information, you got to send someone into outer space.
Did you play Among Us yet, Tawann?
I did not.
It will make sense to him after the fact. But for the listeners that's been playing Among Us, if you know, you know, right? Let me give you the whole story, sir.
Okay. Oh, this is multiplayer.
The whole story.
He said 2 years ago, right? So 2 years ago from today is 2018 if today's 2020, correct?
Yep.
When did Titanfall beta come out?
I don't know.
2014?
2014 maybe,
15,
2013
13,
possibly.
Between 13 and 14, maybe. It wasn't 2012.
Right.
But it was
like
definitely
13 or 2014 when the Titanfall beta came out.
It came
the
out.
original Titanfall.
Yeah.
The one that couldn't run on the PlayStation but ran on a 360.
It came out after I moved to 779.
Right. Right. I told that man, yo, fam, get on the keyboard and mouse. He's like, nah, fam, can't do it. I'm alright. I'm handling people.
Hold up, Q red cup.
I'm like, yo, son, just put it down, son. Like I'm out here balling on the keyboard. By the way, on the keyboard and mouse, I'm balling. Nah, fam, I'm good. I'm like, yo, son, come over. You gotta learn. He's like, one day I will, but like, I don't want to be uncomfortable. I'm trying to ball out. I'm like, son, it's just a beta. There's no better place to ball out but on a beta. It's like, I don't know. Son, that was 2013, 2014. 6 years, 4 years prior to him claiming what he just asked me. And I've been telling this man for a long time, fam, I come from the PC world. It's nothing for me to jump over from one controller to the next to the keyboard and mouse. This is what I do when I play with y'all. PlayStation controller in hand, I get the call. Yo, Snow, come through. We on the X. Are y'all watching Netflix or y'all on the X? Nah, son, we on the X. All right, cool. I switch over to the Xbox controller.
Whoa. Was that a shot?
Across the bow, son. Across the bow, son.
We just throwing shots. We just throwing shots all day.
Son.
All day we throwing shots.
Shite.
I come across the border, make sure everybody not watching anything, and then we all playing. I join the party, we playing. And every now and then, shout out to Jerry James, because now I'm pulling in witnesses. Yo, son, we need to get on the computer. Jerry J is like, yo, y'all need to get on DayZ. And to be fair, F you, Jerry J, and any zombie thing related, right? Cool, we not doing that. But he was on the PC too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure that Jerry J has also said to Ramon, yo, fam, you got to use a keyboard and mouse when you're playing PC. Dive in all the way. This precedes the 2018 conversation that Mr. Trotman over there, Troll God 64, is talking about.
He could be the Troll God. I can agree with that. He could be the Troll God.
This is very true. Your
ago.
Variation of the truth is not the truth, son. I would just put that out there.
I feel you.
But
son.
the end result is I have arrived.
And how's it feel? How's your left hand feel?
I feel like a fucking clown sometimes because I can't dance. You know, on the controller, you could lay down, get up, hit somebody in the face with a grenade, slide to the left, get back down. I still can't do a lot of these things. I'm getting there. Like, for instance, throwing a grenade in Call of Duty is on the G key on the keyboard. That's 2 keys over. Like, my fingers ain't. So I just don't throw grenades at all. You know what I'm saying? Well, I got it mapped to the mouse. So
my quick question is, what button on the keyboard does
W?
So G is the grenade.
No,
got it.
You gotta look at the movement. So ASWD.
A
or WASD as we say.
W, right. So W is forward, S is backward, A is left, D is right.
Son, this is fuckery.
And everything else is around that. So for instance, E or F in most games are like your action buttons, like how you open a door, how you get in a vehicle. The R button is usually like a reload.
I don't want to know no more. Son. It's too much.
And I type. Y'all know I work long ass days, 10, 12-hour days as an IT professional. I make my living on the keyboard, and I'm still like, what the fuck? Son, I know my way around a keyboard, son, but I'm like, what the fuck?
You lost me at ASDW.
You know what it feels like? Everybody here knows how to ride a bike, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you got your little BMX, and you hopping off shit, and a motherfucker show up with a mountain bike. Yo, fam, ride this. You know that first feeling like, what am I doing? I mean, you riding the bike.
It's too
you
tall.
moving, but like you don't feel right. It's too big. You don't got control.
You don't know what these gears are.
Right. You don't know how the brakes work. Like that's exactly what it feels like.
It's more like what just going off of putting my hand on the keyboard, putting my getting my long ass fingers on these keys that are right together. It's more akin to I've been driving a standard regular car for 25 years, and now you want me to drive a stick shift.
Yeah, it's jarring.
It's like that.
And manual is better than auto, sir.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I know.
That's
like
the
this.
left hand.
But put like this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the left hand. Go ahead, Rizza. Get to the right hand.
The right hand, however, that's what controls the reticle. That's what controls the headshots.
So do you want a fast reticle or a slow reticle?
So my mouse, I've got the DPI setting on my mouse, so I can increase or decrease the speed of, on the fly. And I would actually recommend that. But fam, if I see you, you're fucking dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like sniping. I can't tell you how easy it is to snipe. Like, there's no... It's easy to snipe. It's easy to get double, triple kills. Like, now I'm seeing... You know, like, when you're playing Call of Duty, you'd be like, get the fuck out of here. You see the replay. This motherfucker using a bot. He's definitely cheating. Like, nah. It's literally like that. Like, you come in with precision. You're selecting 2 or 3 different targets. It's pretty wild. That's very comfortable to me.
You know what seems to be a kind of sort of a lost thing with first player shooters is auto aiming.
Nah, it's there. It's on controllers.
Son, I cannot figure out why my shit's not auto aiming.
No, it is. You got aim assist in Call of Duty.
It is. They've done such a good job of lowering it and making it less obvious. It's there.
You got to move. It really only works when you're moving. So if you're standing still, it doesn't work.
Well, I know I definitely took out 5 people yesterday, and I was like, well, where the fuck is the auto aim? Because I'm like, I felt like this was all me. So what I'm gonna start playing with that shit off.
No, don't do that.
I think if I play with it,
don't do that.
Play with it on first. And then get like 3 games. Because if you're playing Call of Duty, you're gonna play a minimum of 6 games.
Oh yeah.
Play 3 games with it as it is right now, and then turn it off after that 3rd game, and you'll be able to.
And there's different ones. There's linear, traditional. There's different ones in there for you to play with. You can feel the difference between them.
Okay, I'm gonna definitely check that out. But bro, can we get to the meat and
my
potatoes?
bad.
Yeah, the answer is no.
Can we? Huh?
The answer is no. That's it. We could wrap it up. The answer is no. It's not worth it.
Today's topic.
Yeah.
Today's topic. We're talking about the new consoles.
I just wanna. This is just bash Sony Day. Only because it's.
I disagree.
No, real talk. No, I disagree as well, and I think we're probably gonna be more on the same page. Ramon, what today's topic is?
Today's topic is are the new consoles worth it? And by new consoles, we're talking about the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S.
Yes.
So every 7 years, 8 years, we have this conversation.
We're averaging about 7. Let's just say 7 for safety.
And here we are. Before we dive in, let's do some housekeeping. We had some predictions of things we wanted to see on the last gen, which was the Xbox One and PS4. Mm-hmm. I think both Sony and Microsoft did a great job of giving us the things we envisioned.
Yep.
Right?
I agree.
And no complaints.
I say about a B+.
Yeah.
I say about a B+. If not an A.
The only complaints I had about that generation is the mid-generation step.
Minus.
And I blame that on the gamers. Mm-hmm. Because there was this, look at this, look how weak the Xbox is compared to the PlayStation. And Microsoft was like, word, y'all want power? Here it is. And then Sony ain't about to sit there and just like not respond. So now we got this weird ass like mid-generation step that at the end of the day benefited who? Because they both couldn't hit the numbers they said it was going to hit out the gate. So that was an annoyance, and to me it was less of an annoyance because I got through the generation with legitimately the OG Xbox One and the OG PlayStation 4.
Same.
Yeah, likewise.
So whatever, motherfuckers.
PlayStation.
You know what I mean?
Mind your business. Mind your business, juice. Mind your business.
What I like, remember we had got in a conversation a few years back about when this thing about graphics was coming into play, and I said, yo, they need to leverage what they do in Windows 7, where If your machine doesn't have enough actual RAM, you can use the hard drive as extra RAM for the machine. There's no reason they can't do this on the consoles. Lo and behold, that's exactly what's happening now in these consoles.
Right.
So all of my wish lists of like geeky technology shit I would like to see, they kind of addressed it, right? All the streaming shit, the recording shit. You don't need a capture card anymore to do your thing and show off your, like, all that stuff satisfied. So I'm happy there. I don't know, Snow, where you at? Did you have anything else?
We predicted. I mean, if we're talking about the old consoles, we predicted a lot of that stuff, and it made it in.
Yep.
I definitely was happy with that. I feel like functionality-wise, whether you only own an Xbox system and you only own the PlayStation system and you've had it from inception of both, there's no way that you bought an Xbox One or a PS4 and felt like this wasn't a good functionality upgrade from everything that you've ever had prior to that. There's just no way around that. And then they gave us something that was on the cutting edge of what is today a thing, which is streaming, right? So I couldn't have been happier with that. I love the fact that even though this is handled previous generation where you can swap out hard drives or add external hard drives, that was needed because my biggest beef was these things shouldn't launch with anything less than 500 gigabytes. That's where my disappointment was. And they launched with 500 gigabytes, and very quickly people found out why I was bitching about that. And I've actually was called names on YouTube about me requiring or requesting that it doesn't launch with 500 gigs. And then I would love to follow up on those people and ask them, like, hey, did you ever switch your console or did you ever add an external?
Of course they did.
Yeah. So I'm actually quite happy with, I would say, 8 out of 10 of my rating of the previous generations. The two things that I felt was disgusting was, one, the lies on the hardware out the gate,
the performance of the hardware,
that they had right, and number two, physical games being installed required you to still use the disc in order to activate. So what was the point of installing on my hard drive? I don't mind doing the hybrid that we did on the PS3 where the bulk of the game is being accessed from the disc and then you had to add stuff on top of it which went to the hard drive. But if I'm installing the entire Blu-ray to my console, then what was the point and why did you launch us out the gate with the 500 gig, which I knew was going to be the issue. So yeah.
Tawann?
I am, I just not even referring so heavily towards the prior gen consoles. I think that I am for, like, all jokes aside, I agree. I am for both of these consoles being worth it. Suffice it to say, me being a PC master race now, whatever. And I'm also upgrading my graphics card very, very soon. The 3090, 70.
You want a 3080?
3080.
Yeah.
I'm all for both of these consoles. I think they will deliver a different experience. I am more so for, with PlayStation, the one without the disc drive. I think that is a game changer. I think that's a win when it comes to downloading and installing games. Like, I'm more like more towards what you were saying, Ramon, about physical media. I think that that is the new plus when it comes to games. Because we're installing, like Snow, like you said, installing the bulk of a fucking game on your hard drive, taking up hard drive space. Why do I take up hard drive space and space in my cabinet or space on my whatever? So I'm all for the PlayStation. I actually will be buying the PlayStation minus the disc drive, and the Xbox is automatic. That's an automatic cop for me. I actually will be pre-ordering it probably next week.
Which one?
The Xbox Series One X. That's
Series
X?
Series X.
Boy.
Series X. I'll be pre-ordering it. I'm not getting the S.
I would argue you should get the S. Because if you're gonna upgrade your graphics card on your PC, then why even spend that extra money for something that's not gonna come close?
Well, because
he likes power.
I like options. I might not want to cut my computer on and play Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Maybe I want to play it on the Xbox. I like those options.
Where would the Xbox be? In the living room or in the room where you at now?
It'd be in the living room. It'd be in the living room.
That's a comfortable location.
Along with the PlayStation. There are PlayStation there are PlayStation games that I still want to play. And I feel backwards compatibility is obviously a thing. So I will have a PlayStation 5. A lot of the games that I wasn't able to play or I didn't play because I wasn't buying a PlayStation 4. Excuse me. And some new PlayStation games as well. I think that my PlayStation would be very specific to games that may not be available on other platforms. My first person shooters may be exclusive to the PC because I don't want a latency issue. My what do you call it game? My Xbox would be specific to Xbox based games that I just want to relax and play. It could be a Call of Duty, but I don't want to play in my office. I want to play over here on my couch and just relax and game and kill and do whatever. You know, I'll be upgrading my TV soon, so all of that comes into play. So that's I think this is the win all the way across the board. That we were talking about, that I was talking about back in the day when we were doing our videos in the basement. When I talked about, I remember a time when I had all consoles in my house, not just one. Now, I wasn't all about Xbox being better or than PlayStation.
Everybody had their own offering.
Right. Everybody has their
I can't see that blurred out.
Switch. The Switch, the Nintendo Switch.
I still can't see it. It looks cheap.
Don't you have one?
Yeah, I have one.
Oh, okay. But
I'm gonna lay a very toxic opinion here.
So wait, hold on. Did any of us answer the question yet, or are we still gonna just build it in the answer?
What, is it worth it?
Yeah.
Well, Tawann thinks it's worth it.
I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
I think it's worth it. Shitty PlayStation aside, I don't need another router in my fucking living room.
That's hilarious, actually.
But it's. I think it's worth it. It couldn't be more asymmetrical, but it's worth my pennies.
Oh,
so
yeah, go ahead, Snow.
So
here's
my thing about worth it. It is not worth it in 2020.
No,
right?
At $399, was it $399?
At any price, I don't care if it was $200. It's not worth it.
Yeah,
in 2020.
Snow's not looking at it from the hardware aspect. He's trying to justify the hardware.
Right. Yeah, I don't care what it looked like, what it runs. There's no, we don't need it this year. It could have come out 2021 around the same time that they're going to release now, because right now we've been hit by something that I am pretty sure has affected every industry in the world. How could it not affect the gaming industry? How could it not? Right?
I think that's the motivation.
I disagree.
If you want to, if you're launching a console,
okay,
right, the most important thing about launching a console is what you bring to the table from a software standpoint. And in this way, we're talking software, we're talking about actual video games. Right?
Gotcha.
And for the most part, anything that's third party with no type of exclusivity, we don't care about, because I can get it anywhere, right?
Right.
Including your older generation consoles.
Including the older generation, which also brings a huge problem into this, right?
Right.
where what is launching with the PlayStation 5 and the X Series X? Absolutely nothing of value that you can't already purchase today. We all like the shiny new shoe. We all like the shiny new car. We all like the shiny new thing. Mm-hmm. But the shiny new thing is always going to have that attention no matter what year you bring it out. So what happens is you're going to bring out this console with no real fire. Call of Duty is going to be across 5 different platforms. It's going to be a real problem when people get into the part that the majority of the crowd actually prefers, which is the multiplayer, and you realize, like, hold on, this ain't that much of an upgrade. Or, well, what else I could play? All right, this is here. What else I could play? Well, you can play what everybody else is playing on the PS4 and the Xbox One. Well, what can I play that's exclusive here? Not much until 2021.
F that.
And we don't even know when. Right? So, Nintendo got slayed for the Super Nintendo launch among a certain specific amount of gamers. And that gamer space back then is a lot different today because now everybody has a voice, right? Not everybody always had a voice. Everybody had a voice that can get out to the mass and people can go, you know what? You're absolutely right about that. Because when Pilot Wings and Mario was the only thing on the platform for months, the Game Informers, Game Pro, all of them were talking about that. Like, yo, we got this new hardware, but we selling games in our magazines that's not slated till like the end of the first year or to the year. We got 12 months of issues that we need to sell games, but we can't sell anything out new because it's Pilot Wings, it's Super Mario World, and I forget the other 3 or 4 games that came out when the Super Nintendo first launched.
It was Zelda, it was Pilot Wings, it was Super Mario, it was another 2 or 3 games that came out with it because I had them all. I'm trying to remember what they were.
Yeah, so it was like, all right, cool, and then it happened again with the Nintendo 64.
Yeah,
Pilot Wings, Wave Racer 64, a 3D Mario game.
GoldenEye. GoldenEye was
GoldenEye launch?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And granted, those games were massive. They were dope. But like the times have changed, right? But the point was they launched with those games. Today
we're getting Turok was another game.
Turok. Yeah. Today we're getting stuff like, oh yeah, we'll step up. We'll have the next gen version of that on that console too.
Right.
All right, cool. But what about for my? Oh, you get the one. You know what I'm saying? You get the one, and to come out or 2, right? And I think what did Xbox have? They had the Forza Motorsport 5.
Which
they
one?
had Rise.
The Gen 1 Xbox?
Gen 1 Xbox. Their launch date it was.
No, you mean the Xbox One.
The actual one, right? The Forza. Yeah.
Was it Halo
Xbox
Evolved
One.
Combat was one?
No, not the original.
No.
Xbox One.
One, not the OG one. It was Forza 5. It was Rise. I think it was a B title.
It was Max the Brotherhood or some shit like that.
Right, that's the B title. And then everything else was just like across the board, which isn't a problem, right? But at least it was 3 home staples that validates the console. Why? Because you can't play it anywhere else, right? And they're not. Max has a little following, but it's no one really knows that following like that, right? People discovering that game for the first time on the platform because there was nothing else to play, so they jumped on it. On the PlayStation side, I believe it was Killzone, and I think it was Infamous Second Son, and then Resogun, which would be the B title, right? And
that game had a lot of high reviews, actually.
The Resogun? Yeah, the Resogun like took off, and I enjoyed the game, but I was surprised that it had so much attention, and some of it makes me feel like, well, yeah, it had a lot of attention because it was look at the other 2 games.
It was fanboy shit. Because it was good, and they latched onto it. They didn't want to hear the fact that this is why you sold me new hardware, something that could run on my Game Boy Advance.
Right.
So
and what did most of us do? my PS4 can only play Battlefield 4 if I put in my PS3 disc.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Assassin's Creed was like that. NBA 2K was like that. Call of Duty Ghosts, same thing. I have that. It was only available on my PS4 if I put in my PS3 disc into my PS4 to activate the game. So it was like there was a bunch of step-up titles, which we're going to do again. And I'm not discrediting that. I am not discrediting that at all. I think it's dope. I do not think the developers should give away the next-gen game for free, which some of them are doing. And kudos to them, but I don't think that they should do that, right? But I'm saying that as a person that loves the industry as a whole. Like, we need to protect where we can, because we're already getting over on the price gouge, the price problem that's been going on in gaming for at least 10 years, right?
Right.
So to me, right now, Gran Turismo, which is a PlayStation staple, it's not available here, which is never really available at launch, but it won't be here till next year. So what are we doing? On the Xbox side, Forza is not going to be here till next year. So what are we doing here? Where's Halo? Uncharted is uncertain in general, but where's God of War? Where's Horizon Zero Dawn? Where's the next Rise game? Like, there is nothing that belongs to the Xbox brand or the PlayStation brand that is launching at launch to validate it, and everyone's happy with their console right now in terms of the games. Functionality might be getting a little slow. You know what I'm saying? That happens over time. It's like a bloated thing with Windows. Every now and then you just got to reinstall Windows. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's cool. Let's get it. But we could get another year out of it, so that way when we step into the next gen, when we step into the next gen, we're hitting out and really validating what we have. The Spider-Man thing will be available on the PS4.
Right. All right. I hate playing. I don't want to play devil's advocate.
Wait, hang on. Snow, is it worth it or no?
No.
Okay.
I said at the beginning, I want to staple that. No.
Yeah, it's one.
I don't want to play devil's advocate here, but I think that the approach that the hardware, these manufacturers. So when I say manufacturer, Sony, Microsoft, I think the approach to next gen consoles is different than the approach to next gen gaming. I think they're looking at a price, the fact that you're going to have so many people at one time trying to buy a console that's 9 times out of 10 going to be sold out everywhere. It's going to be like the fresh new Jordan Virgil Abloh collaboration. They're going to sell, and then they're going to be gone until about a week before Christmas, and then they're going to sell out again. So you have that fight to battle. And then you have the fight that there are people who are saving their money. It's not just gamers. It's everyone. It's everyone with a child. It's child gamers who are like, yo, I need that, mom, dad, I need that new game. And they're not going to be able to attain it. So I think the approach to it's a double-edged sword. It's their approach to new consoles or next-gen consoles is like the new 4K disc player. Yeah, there was a 4K disc player that upscaled a year, 2 years ago. It worked. It looked nice. It was better. But here is the official. We don't have content for it. But guess what? Everyone's going to buy it because for the hopes that, yes, we're on that road now to getting the content that is supported by this 4K player. So we're going to put it out now. All right. The content will come. Be patient.
You're onto something.
And you have the price point. Son, there are families that are bringing in a single income family that can only afford the console, if that. And this is them saving their pennies for their child to be able to get this console. Now they got to double. Now I'm supposed to buy 4 titles.
Let me jump in here. I'm going to very aggressively attack what you're saying.
Okay.
I think you missed what Snow said. Their kids can still play those games without that new console.
But do they want to?
Do you want to play the game or not?
But the selling, what when you say,
so
listen,
there's no difference.
Company, hold on.
There's no difference.
Listen, no, there is. As a company pushing new product, you yourself, sir, are the person that says, I'm not playing new shit or playing my old shit on new shit.
I have that privilege.
You have
I'm
said that.
not saving pennies to do it.
But you are a U case. You can buy the next gen console and say, yup, I got it, and I'm going to play whatever I want to play on it or not. But then you have that very large number of people who don't have that same opportunity. What are they going to argue?
Fam,
their child
what
wants
you're
the new
talking about
thing.
is just poor fucking financial decisions.
But
you can afford
we can't
it or
speak
not.
to that.
Yes,
but
we can.
Can't speak
this
to that.
is a problem with a ton of people in this world. You need to understand when you can't afford something. Period. Close.
I agree with you, bro. But you can't talk economics to somebody that wants to treat their kid to something. I'm sorry.
Treat your kid to something you can afford.
I get it, but that's you still. Hold on, Snow, because I don't want to forget. You still talking economics to listen. I was that kid that wanted that new shit. My parents, listen, God, Lord rest their soul. My dad left. My mom footed everything. My dad was like, fuck that. I give you X amount of money a month, or I don't. They're taking X amount of money a month. So guess what? You gonna make it happen. So now my mom sees me or my brother, my older brother, he worked, it is what it is. I'm in school, my brother is in school, my younger brother is in school, and we want this. So now she has to make a decision. Do I upset, and this is again, an economics issue that you can say, because we've all experienced it. Either your mom is gonna bust her ass to make her children happy, which 90% of our families did, or we're going to say, nope, be economical and financially responsible.
You're missing the point. You're missing the point. Why did you want Super Nintendo?
I wanted Super Nintendo because it now had Super on it. And it wasn't just Nintendo. It was the new thing.
So you didn't want
Nintendo, my NES worked fine.
So you didn't want it to play Star Fox.
Well, there was no backward compatibility, so I wanted it because there was.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, Tawann. You don't have to go and spend $500 to experience what everyone is experiencing right now.
But there's backwards compatibility now.
You're not. You're not listening. You're not listening.
All right.
Call of Duty Black Ops will be released on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One.
Right.
Call of Duty Black Ops will be released on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X.
Right.
You can't fucking complain about telling me you can't afford it, or you can't afford the new Xbox Series X to play Black Ops when you could play it over here.
Right.
For $430 less. You would be a fucking fool to present that argument to me.
But the parent of that child is saying, what do you want for Christmas, Johnny? Oh God, I want that new Xbox. Yeah, there's no new titles, but you want what you want. You yourself have wanted what you wanted. I have wanted what I wanted. Snow, I'm sure you've wanted what you wanted.
I'm never gonna argue that.
That's not what we're arguing.
Right.
That's not what we're arguing.
Yeah, but I'm challenging your point to saying it's not, we don't need it this year because of lack of titles. I think that is an old argument for an older now gamer. We not at that. We're not arguing that anymore. We're arguing legitimacy.
How do you feel
That's
when
not
you?
an old argument, fam.
How do you feel when you go in and spend X amount of dollars to get rid of the Cadillac you currently have, to get a Cadillac you now own, but the navigation system's the same? How would you feel?
It's now a better. What's better about
no,
listen, because so this is a real argument, right? So I went from the XTS, that was the car, right?
Yeah.
To the Cadillac Escalade, which was the newer Cadillac. The only difference interior wise was the light up door sills from the Escalade to the XTS to the Escalade. The exterior, brand new 22-inch wheels, new grill fascia, new rear fascia, long fucking lights, all of that.
Was it worth it?
I said, fam, I need that Escalade. It's worth it.
It was worth it to
Moving
you.
forward. Moving forward. I said, son, you remember what I was talking about? I said, yo, son, I want this CTS-V. It's this amount of money, and I know I can get it. And I said, but god damn it, son, the interior looks just like the goddamn Escalade. Now it's not worth it. Now it's because I'm not doing 3 cars that look the fucking same interior.
Let me apply it for you.
Okay.
Here's how we make it very similar to the console debate.
Okay.
Your lease is up.
Right.
So you have to get something.
Okay. It's a variable. It's throwing a variable, but let's go because I got something.
Not a variable.
That is a reality. You have to get something. So now you have to weigh your options about what's available. I'm not arguing that. What I'm saying to you is, would you 1 year in your lease go through all the headache to end up in the same place? Because there is no lease on your console. And you can still have the same interior. Play the same games.
Yeah. That's me.
So
that's me.
Right. And
it's person to person.
I feel that. And you, the thing about you saying it's person to person is you also told Ramon that he couldn't feel his person to person, his own individual thing, right?
Oh no,
but
you
the
can.
Thing I wanted to get back.
I challenge it.
To get back to the beginning is when you said about the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo.
Right.
That is clearly double the experience. Clearly, between the NES and the Super Nintendo, that jump is why we jump for consoles, right?
Right.
Even the jump between the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo 64 is why we jump for consoles.
Sure.
It's just recently
Mario in 8-bit versus Mario in 3D.
16-bit. Yeah, 3D
right.
or 3D.
You know what I'm saying?
With
16 to 3D.
64.
You know what I'm saying? And then from 3D to polygons we can't even count, right? So when people jump from the PS2 to the PS3, that was the last really yo, son, this jump was crazy.
Yeah.
And it was a little harder to say that because through development of
took a
people
while
making games on that platform, right? The development at the end of the PS2, which also includes the Xbox, which even though it was short term, the games got so much better that in the beginning of the PS3, there was a game called SmackDown, right? The WWE SmackDown game. When they were showing screenshots of the PS2 game, they thought it was the PS3 game. Now, could they have done some BS swapping around? Yeah, probably. But when they saw the gameplay, they couldn't tell what it was until they saw the PS3 actually running side by side with it. So that one was like, okay, when the jump used to be double,
now it's a quarter.
And then now it's a quarter, if not half.
Got it.
The half or a quarter is between the PS3 and the PS4, right?
Right.
Now, if you look at the PS3 to the PS5 projected, yeah, that's going to look crazy.
Right.
But what I am saying is, son, when you got your Super Nintendo, there is nothing on the NES that looked like F-Zero.
Yeah,
There's nothing on the NES that looked like Super Mario World. The closest was Super Mario Brothers 3.
It couldn't even run it.
And even then, And even then, not even close, fam. Not even close.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Pilot Wings on the Super Nintendo, it don't even compare to the Nintendo 64 version of it. And what I'm saying is, those things sold the games, because even if you could play the previous generation on the current generation by taking the cartridge out and putting the slot in, you still was buying it because of the F-Zero, the Gradius, and the Pilot Wings. Not even SimCity. SimCity was trash.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We love it, but it was trash on the console.
Those old
and
consoles.
The Super Mario World.
Right.
That's what sells the new consoles. Other than that, if you're gonna buy, like when I got my Sega Saturn, so my Sega Saturn came with 3 games.
Yeah.
Sorry, 4 games. It was a 3 bundle pack that came inside, and then they was like, you know what? We need to do something else. So here go the Sega Rally.
Yeah.
Right? When you bought a Super Nintendo, it came with Super Mario World.
Yeah, off the rip.
That was the incentive, because that was the number 1 game, and it probably still is to this day for that console. And it's way past its lifespan. So when we buy the new consoles, there's something there that's supposed to display the power of what we're doing. And for a conversational piece, yeah, it's dope to be able to see from the PS3 to the PS4.
Right.
Yo, here's how my Call of Duty Ghost looked on the PS3. Yeah, this is cool. Okay, yeah, this is fine. This looks pretty dope, actually. And then you go to the PS4 and be like, okay, I'm still in stride. I can bring everything over. I'm not going to restart. All right, cool. Yo, this runs better. But visually, after you've already played it. If you was already burning out on the title, it don't matter anymore. Or if it's just in stride because you've already been hitting with it. What's going to sell? You know what sold the new PS4 for me? Battlefield 4. I went from 12 players to 32. I went from 12 teammates to 32 teammates. Which means I went from 24 rooms to 64 player rooms. And I gained frames, because what you did not gain in Call of Duty was frames. It was 60 frames on the PS3 and 360, and it was 60 frames on the PS4, Xbox One. Right. You didn't gain frames there. You just gained more textures. For Battlefield, I gained functionality.
Right.
I gained frames, and I gained just a little bit more graphic work. Because at the end result of the game, they had to dial it down a little bit for service stuff. I just want to put that out there real quick.
Right.
But then the Killzone, which wasn't available on the PS3, and I'm not saying Killzone was a system seller, but Killzone was a system seller for someone. And that validated their purchase on a level of, here's new hardware. I could jump today. Destiny, which ended up being on the PS3, had functionality issues, but was a validator for people when they finally came over.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Titanfall, even though it existed on the 360 a little later, validated people's Xbox. Forza validated people's Xbox. Rise, new IP, new stuff. We don't know anything about it. Looks good. I'm on it. It's amazing to some. It's to others. And to me, if you don't have the new hardware with new software that you can provide to the people for at least a couple months out the gate, because people want new shit on their new shit. Now, is there a group of people who want to play old shit on their new shit? Absolutely. Especially if just 2 months earlier I bought a game and there's a new console coming. And you have to facilitate that, because I know people today who has not bought The Last of Us and who's not bought Ghost of Tsushima, however you say that name.
Right.
Because they know it's going to be available on the PS5. And therefore they chose to wait. And what does that do for... These games been out for 6 months. Well, one of them been out for about 6 months. The other one's been about for 3, maybe 3 months. Son, the company didn't get any money for that. Well, the reason why they did that is because, son, there's 100 and something players currently right now on the platform. So, in order to help you now and help you in the future, yes, you better make it available for the next console, because if not, you're gonna lose on a lot of money. So, you still need something to sell for the next gen. And that's why I'm not saying that you don't buy it because you can't bring your old shit over to the new shit. What I'm saying is, you're not going to have a successful launch in a COVID crisis where the shit is already short and you have nothing to sell other than this new shiny toy. And I get that everybody likes the new shiny toy. But if someone's in a position of validating, like for me, like you said, for you, when you was a kid and that new thing popped up, y'all trying to get it on the Christmas list. Son, I was that same kid.
Right.
Like there's no difference there.
We all were.
We all were that kid.
Because you didn't want to go to school and not have it.
Even speaking, right. And even speaking from that perspective, son, I didn't get a Sega on day one. I didn't get a Super Nintendo on day one. Hell, I didn't even get my Sega Saturn on day one. That shit came later. But when I had it, I had a ton of new shit to play. Even with my PS2 that could play PS1 games, my PS2 had a ton of new shit to play. The PS3 launch was being able to play old shit. But when I got my PS3, I had a ton of new shit to play.
Right. But, all right. And I remember I had two arguments. And one argument was as a person who likes the shiny shit. Yeah. Yeah. And as a person, be they young or old. And again, that's a validation that, again, is person to person. Now, remember, there's also an additional argument. New content, it's like, what comes first, the chicken or the fucking egg? All right. Well, you need the chicken to produce the egg, right? So that is your Xbox Series X. Now, anything that comes after, and this is just me, like I said, companies tend to fall on that hardware first, software later. All right, like when it comes to I don't know, a VCR, a CD player,
Talk
4K player, iPhone. 5K player.
You know that struggle well.
iPhone.
You had the iPhone 10 for 2 years. Why didn't you upgrade?
Absolutely. I upgraded because it's not that it didn't work, but
no. Why didn't you upgrade?
Oh, because the shit was it was no need to.
That's my point. Because Instagram still worked on your phone like it did on the 11.
Absolutely. But now when you start talking performance, I'm sorry, because the 11 Pro outperforms my 10.
And that's what Snow is saying.
It's right.
There's no difference in performance right now.
Well, from a game standpoint, but now where does it lie when it comes to an actual console? So now I get this new console and I decide to play I don't know, Call of Duty on it now, and Call of Duty ran 60 frames on one. What can it run? Is it upscaled? Is it cleaner? Is it smoother?
It'll be very nominal. Very nominal. Like
it'll be fair, but I will tell you this: a lot of
nominal works.
Even speaking to the thing that you said, right, about I want the new thing, even as a child, right?
Right.
If it's gonna run 120 frames per second or whatever, that's fine. But I also believe that if you are struggling to get the console, you're probably struggling to get the technology to make the console work at its
That's
best.
my point. It's not just the console anymore. Son,
right,
there's no TV that you have in your house right now that would allow you to play the Xbox One X at 120 frames properly.
Series X.
Series X.
Absolutely. However, I also noted prior to this 53-minute segment, I'm also upgrading my TV. I'll probably be getting that 8K one.
But that's what we're saying. It's not worth it. It's not worth it, son. You got to spend $4,000 to make this even worth the experience.
Right. So
to play old shit that's already running fine.
Right, but was it worth it when it was the Xbox One? Was it worth it when
we already have CDs?
Right.
We already have plasmas. We already had flat screens in the crib that could run whatever the game needed to run. And not to mention that CRT TVs also ran 60 frames per second. Shout out to Super Mario, always running at 60 frames per second. Always.
Right. Let me get into my spiel, and then we'll tie it back into yours.
Okay.
I got some perspectives I want to put out there. I want to piggyback on your thing about the kid that wants. I never challenge you on that. You want what you want.
Right.
Right? the reason on one of our other episodes we spoke about Twitch. The reason when we spoke about it in that context, and Twitch is educational to me because I get to look at how these people are playing. But also, when they're playing these games, they're talking about very topical things in the industry, like the new consoles, right?
Right.
And these Twitch, the community around these gamers, depending on the gamer, and that's why I hop from Twitch stream to Twitch streams, because I'm curious to see the opinions of the people who are commenting on what they're saying. Not because I want to troll, because fam, I recognize I'm old school at this point. I'm from an old way of thinking. I'm curious to see how these kids are thinking. And these kids are the ones that's out there like, nah, fam. You mean I can, even though the new Xbox and PlayStation is out, I can still play Fortnite or the new Fortnite on what I have now? Then it's not worth it, because they're of the frame of mind that they only get this ask twice a year, Christmas and birthday. You get what I mean? You only get that what do you want twice a year. That's what counting pennies looks like. You got to pick and choose. And for them, the landscape is a lot different. For us, we kind of only wanted, we were too young to really care about sneakers and shit like that. And sneakers was now popping off. For us, it was only, we want that. We want the Nintendo or the Game Boy. So these kids are going, I do want that new PlayStation, but I also want those new Yeezys. And I kind of do want that new iPhone. And then I want those AirPods. And then I want that Supreme bag. So they're starting to...
I kind of want these other games too.
So they're starting to weigh their options. And we're no longer in a place where if they don't get the new PlayStation and Xbox, they'll be excluded from the experience of those who chose to get it.
Right.
They can stay on a PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and still play the same ass game with their friends online in the same lobbies as those who
jumped to the got it.
So for them, it's kind of like this.
So can I add, because maybe and if this would be cool, because we don't know this yet, and if anyone's figured out Xbox has, right, and I'm throwing a positive shot that way. What if now, if Tawann gets this Series X, I stay on the X1, Ramon stays on the PC and says F both of y'all, and we all in the same Xbox Live party?
It works. It works now with the PC.
Is that?
Yeah.
No, I know it works now with the PC, but will it work with the new console?
Yeah, it'll.
Right?
It will. Yeah. It will.
And if you do that, you solve the problem.
Yeah.
Because before was, well,
you in the 360 lobby,
360,
and we in the OG Xbox lobby, so we can't talk.
And ain't no crossplay.
That was a big reason for us to buy the 360.
Right. And
So,
now we got the crossplay, and it's cross-gen.
And we are playing, everyone is playing the same game across multi-platforms.
But you get your Yeezys.
Right. I got it. So those are the options. Those are the options for people. Again, what I am saying about validation, all right, is for a person to look at, particularly young people, I'm talking between 14 and 25. They will look at this and say, man, I'm good. I'm still kicking ass on my Xbox, whatever. I'm still kicking ass on my PlayStation 4. You see my numbers. My numbers ain't going to change. I'm not saying that. All right. There are many groups that, and this is part of our future gaming or gamer conversations. There are many groups of gamers. There's not just one.
Sure.
The youth now, when I say youth, again, that number between 14 and 25, their thought process is vastly different from Ramon, Snow, mine, people above us.
Absolutely,
and as it should. So they would likely say, hey, I don't need an Xbox Series X or a PlayStation 5. So I'm good. But then there are those that may consider themselves gamers. On top of that, they are considered maybe power users that need that newness. They need that new iPhone.
You're talking about enthusiasts.
So
you're you're walking through one of my points. Go ahead.
Right, you saw the duo.
Yep.
And I was probably we were probably both giddy.
Yeah.
As enthusiasts, but it was like,
it's not the best consumer phone.
Right. No, it's not the consumer phone, but it's that shit.
Yeah.
That only Microsoft can do.
Yeah.
So now it's like we're trying to figure out how to hustle our way into this phone.
Yes.
It becomes the same argument when and to that consumer. I can't be mad if Ramon or bought an Xbox Series X on launch day, or Snow bought a PlayStation 5 on launch day, because you guys are enthusiasts. You guys are consumers of that brand. So as a consumer, it's less of a thought process of, all right, I'm just a gamer and I can still game. It's, no, sir, I need this because I need this. It is the evolution of that child that needed the new shininess.
I understand.
So now when you move into I don't want to say realist, I would say a rational human being. No, this don't make sense because nothing stops you from. But to a person that is not thinking rational, people with money don't think rational, first and foremost. People with money or people with the ability.
Enthusiasts are protected from thinking rationally. Fam, this is just what I do.
Yeah. Listen, if a new BMW, listen, my fucking M5, my 2-year-old M5 works fine.
Yeah.
But this new M5 allows me to go on full all-wheel drive or turn all-wheel drive off and full power to the rear. Guess what's happening?
So what you're talking about.
Enthusiasts are always below the 15th percentile of the total product being purchased.
But you can argue that it's a little higher than that, Snow.
No, it is not. It is not. Hang on. This is one of my other points. I got two others.
Go ahead.
Who the fuck is this console for? Who are these consoles for? Let's look at the landscape.
That we can argue.
Let's look at the landscape.
Yeah.
It is no longer feasible to say these consoles are for gamers. Now I need specifics.
Yeah.
Because you got hardcore gamers, you got casual gamers, and fucking everybody in between. Right? Yep. If you look at what's popping today, you're looking at Fortnite, a game that runs on a fucking cell phone.
Yeah.
But drives however God amounts of internet traffic and billions of dollars for this company. Hardcore gaming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hardcore gaming.
Yeah. But hold on. Do you want to make this point now? Because I thought this was a topic for later.
Nah. We're lumping it up. That's the hardcore gamer. Then you look at a game like Among Us. A game that runs on mobile and PC.
Right.
I'm sure it could run on the consoles. At some point, they'll circle back and make that happen.
Right.
It's not about the graphics of the game. It's about the experience. Hardcore gaming. Right. Hardcore gaming. Then we look at there's an insurgence of or resurgence of these old school retro racing games. You get what I mean? Like, hang on.
Pole position and outrun.
Right. They're very like outrun-ish. Hang on. I got one of them.
Horizon Turbo Chase and the recent one.
Hot Shot Racing.
Hot Shot Racing.
But it didn't stop there. There's another one called Inertia Drift.
Yeah.
And then they got another one called the Art of Rally. These games are fucking dope, but they've got that retro style of graphics to them. Right. And they can run, I'm sure they can run on fucking phones. And when I say phones because I want to lay that groundwork. Everything in between, right? Phones, iPads, Chromebooks, Xbox, PlayStation, PC, or fucking microwave, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This is the landscape of where we are now. People, and for us coming up, we're those dudes that like to see 8-bit Mario, 16-bit Mario. Holy shit, blew my mind. 64-bit Mario.
For sure.
Like, we're the ones that equate hardcore gaming to hardcore, realistic looking graphics, right? And I feel like after years of that, we're burnt out. Like, I get it, fam. You can make shit look uber realistic. I feel like, swear to God, if you take Call of Duty now and measure it to the graphical fidelity and the art style and the fucking visual color grading of Ghost Recon GRAW, Ghost Recon GRAW probably looks fucking more realistic.
Right.
So for me, I had to disassociate this cutting edge graphics looking more and more real, like God of War and Uncharted, that picture, that lifelike picture look, to being hardcore, because it's fucking not anymore.
Right.
And we don't need this type of fucking power that we're getting from the new consoles to equal hardcore gaming.
Yeah.
We fucking don't.
Yeah, I don't think it's a prerequisite.
So we can get hardcore gaming on what we have today. So I'm still coming back to the point of, son, this WoW OD power still isn't fucking worth it right now. I still can't find a reason for it. But hold on.
Yeah.
Going into the consumer angle of it, the biggest fucking mistake that I saw that Microsoft made was they priced that console. The Xbox Series S is $300.
Yeah.
The biggest fucking value in gaming. Sure.
I had a problem with that.
Sony comes through at 400 and 500. Microsoft, their big boys at 500. Whatever. I don't care about the cost of them. What I do care about is the features you get with them. You know what the two top features of these new consoles are? And you can't sell me on graphics, because the feature of every console is graphics, right?
Right. No.
Every BMW ever buy is going to go fast. So you can't tell me that the new one is faster and that's the reason. So, no, fuck you. That's a baseline of the product I'm buying. You don't get to sell me that.
So you can't say 10, because they were both running 4K. Am I wrong?
Yeah, the current consoles run 4K.
Right, but now I'm speaking on the next gen consoles.
Oh, now
Xbox
they're talking fucking
the S and
8K.
X.
They're talking 8K media, and finally they're saying 4K at 60 frames a second. Fuck you. That's what you promised last time.
Right.
However,
1080 60.
Now we're in this fuck fest where, who are these consoles for? You're telling me that the new one does features like instantly resuming games. There's no more loading. There's no more waiting for games to load. You can switch between every game on your console within seconds. Now you're telling me that the graphics card has the ability to use this super fast storage, the super fast hard drive, to now alleviate loading times in open world games and all of these. Fuck you. That's consumer shit. I'm sorry. My apologies. That is enthusiast shit. Right?
Right.
Show me a regular person, a regular casual gamer that complained
about
that Grand Theft Auto took too long to show me that person.
Yeah, no.
It's not a real thing. Now,
right.
What you do see is Xbox says, well, these consoles, and this is Snow's argument, these consoles still don't have enough fucking hard drive space.
No, they don't.
Not only do they not have enough hard drive space, right? Not only do they not have enough hard drive space, but like the space that they do use is very, very specialized to make these new features work of switching back and forth super quick. So Microsoft, with their dumbass, says, here's another terabyte of that space.
Microsoft, sir.
Here's another terabyte of that highly specialized space that can get you all of these new features for $230 fucking dollars. And the world goes wild. Why is the world going wild? You, as an enthusiast, you're already prepared to spend stupid amounts of fucking money for the new shit, whether it is or is not worth it. Get the fuck off of my lawn complaining about this. So again, who are these new consoles for? At $300, you're telling me that this is a consumer project because a consumer can afford it.
Right.
But everything else around it says this is an enthusiast project or a product.
Yeah, I think verbiage.
You get why all of this, it's not fucking worth it.
All of that, yes. The entire gamut of conversation on does this make sense, and why would you release a $300 next gen console versus a $500 next gen console? I think that because those are the debates that are going to drive away from sales, and because everybody is wasting so much time on does it make sense? I think that the fucking console should have been $50 less than the Series X. I think, and this is my opinion, I think that to answer the question, who is this console for? This is for next gen gamers. This is for a person who says, all right, I'm done with my Xbox One. I'm done with it.
Why?
Because I'm done. And you're asking why. You're asking why. But I can listen, everything we've talked about today on this topic is subjective. It is based on what you think, Snow, versus what Ramon thinks, Snow, to the point, versus what I think. And everyone's point is 1,000% valid, but arguing whether my point is less valid than your point is the issue.
I got one for you.
Go ahead.
There's going to be another game like Among Us that comes out. There's going to be another game like Fortnite that comes out.
For sure.
Anything that comes out after these new consoles launch is considered next gen.
Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. What's the point of spending next gen hardware for shit that can work everywhere? I'm trying to disassociate next gen from the hardware because that's what these companies are using to sell that shit. There's nothing next gen about these hardwares, son. There's nothing, literally zero, that's next gen about the hardware that we're getting. And let me tie this back to you. Let me say this very real thing that doesn't exist today. When the Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, Saturn, all these fucking things came out, motherfuckers didn't have computers in their house. Personal computer wasn't a thing. These things were very cutting edge.
Yeah.
That's next gen.
Yeah, for
the
sure.
shit that we have now, there's nothing fucking next gen about these. Son, the things that they're doing now, leveraging fast storage to make up for the lack of your weak ass graphic card that you chose.
Yeah.
I'm throwing shots at AMD. Is not next gen. Windows Vista been doing that.
Yeah.
Windows 7 been doing that. That's not next gen. That shit is old. What are we talking about? But you charging me $500 for it and you're saying it's next gen? False. And you don't even have the software to take advantage of this shit out the gate. It ain't next gen. It's what's next. Then we'll talk about crowning it some sort of achievement when you get there. You know when PlayStation gets there, and PlayStation is the only one in the industry that does this. PlayStation closes strong as fuck. No matter how they start, there's no arguing how PlayStation closes a generation. And to me, that's when PlayStation earns their fucking moniker. It ain't nothing to fuck with. The last 2-3 years of a PlayStation product is just nothing to fuck with. And I'm throwing Nintendo in there. Nintendo can't even fuck with that. Nintendo usually hits hard up front.
Yeah, up front
or mid. Or mid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Son, I can't with this dumb shit, but this is my last point. And it fucking sucks to see Microsoft didn't do this. This is not an appropriate time for these consoles to be coming out. There is a pandemic going on. There is social fucking injustice going on. This is not a time for these fucking consoles to be. It is the most insensitive and inappropriate time for these consoles to be released.
I think it's bad luck.
And I think it's
honestly,
and rightfully so, it is also inappropriate and insensitive for sports to resume. This is not the fucking time. And it's nuts to me that I'm seeing this. And I like, why can't we just handle this next year, fam? Clean slate. I'm not saying anything will be solved next year, but yo, let's chill for a second. Let everybody focus on what we need to focus on to get through the weeds right now.
Right.
This is fucking wild wrong for them to be releasing these consoles right now. And they don't even have a proper support system around them to be doing it. That's what I'm disappointed in. That's why I say all of these things we spoke about today, from my perspective, is why these consoles are not fucking worth it. Do not give these companies the money for these consoles right now. Us first. People first. Because without us buying this shit, you will never move it. And we're hurting right now. Mm-hmm. Don't sell your shit to me.
Right. And in that vein, I agree 1,000%. I will never argue or attempt to validate a reason to bring out a game, play a basketball game, do anything in the face of what we're dealing with as a community, as a people, as a country, as a planet. I can only say that in light of everything going on, our ability to take our mind off of these things, because you have to desensitize as a person. Any professional therapist will say, for 2 seconds you need to vacate what it is that you're trying to do in order to have some sort of functionality as a person. You need to take your mind off of what it is that your objectives are and think about yourself for 2 seconds, and then you can get back on the road to doing whatever
so like
the case may be.
Snow's people said you can't pour from an empty cup, and to put a little more structure on what you're saying, you need to prioritize what you choose to lend your energy to. And if you continue to lend it everywhere, then you'll have nothing.
You spread yourself thin.
Yeah.
And the point that you are trying to get across becomes lost in an agenda that you may not even be fully aware that you're championing.
Yeah. Son, you know I looked and I'm not throwing shots at Sony because I didn't even pay attention to Microsoft shit either.
Right.
The George Floyd stuff happened, and then the Sony announcements happened a few weeks later.
Right.
And now you're seeing a lot of black people, young black dudes and black women, presenting these games and announcements, right? And at face value, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But then the game they're introducing has no fucking black characters.
That's too deep.
But that's deep to me. That's where I'm taking it. And my thing is, you motherfuckers, this is why you should wait. Because you're in a hurry to do something, and what you're doing looks fucking distasteful. Because you're just putting a black face and like, no, we here, we represented. Are we really represented? Because there's no black people in this fucking game. How about you just wait next year when this is not a big deal? How about you actually do the work, go back to the drawing board of the developers, and do real inclusion and diversity in your characters in your game. And then maybe when you got a black dude standing up in front of me who clearly wasn't coached, this wasn't his job to do this because he wasn't in his position. You just found Tawann in the back. Yo, you want to talk about something? You black, right? Yeah. Let's show that we care about it. Yo, hop on this right here and tell people about the game. Son, I'm looking at these people, and it looks to me like they're kind of like, I was just a dude that went and got the coffee. I don't.
How was the Uber driver?
I don't really know. Yeah, but like, look, you could jump, and then you get this, and you get to level 2, So that's how and it was clear as day for me to see. And we could avoid all of that had you just had some fucking respect and handle this next year.
Yeah, it's listen, this is a when you start to delve into the things that corporations do that we can define as insensitive. It's shit.
It's an endless book.
It's a you can write a
Fair
few
point.
books off of it, and it's just
everything.
Fair point.
Say again, Snow.
You're gonna offend everyone at everything.
Yeah, you sure will.
That's why I try to keep it at the top level, fam.
Yeah,
we're at the middle of a pandemic, right? Our technology that is running right now, yes,
works.
It's showing, but it works.
Yeah.
It can hold out another year when you can show more to provide more value to anyone who is looking for value beyond just holding a new shiny toy, which is the enthusiast wants to hold a new shiny toy, and that's fine. Yeah. And that's fine because there's always going to be the enthusiasts or the early adopters, as we call them. You know,
fact.
Like the high demass.
And I, listen, for great and excellent content that we provide over here at Lifestyles Defined, you know me, I'm all for. Listen, it ain't good if we're all in agreement. I'm gonna tell you straight up, we gotta challenge points, and I will if you feel a certain type of way. I think I know enough about enough, not everything, but enough about enough to say, hey, wait a minute, could it be these companies have this looking at it this way? Could it be that these such and such are looking at it at this way? And we can argue it and see what sticks. You know what I'm saying? Because we're three people speaking on behalf of a lot of people that we don't know any of them.
Sure.
But we're just basing it on our feelings about whatever. My feelings, like you said, but my feelings about getting the new, like, son, I want that new Escalade. But trust and believe that new Escalade is balls to the wall, everything new, flashy, and fancy. You know what I'm saying? But will I be buying that new Escalade on release? Hell to the no. You want to know why? Because new fucking things fail. And they fail more frequently than old stuff. The shit that I have that's been running.
It's already burned
XY, exactly. It's broken in.
Yeah, it was something you just said reminded me of when we did the PS4 and Xbox One conversation on IGZ. Where it was like, I was talking about there's no reason you shouldn't own both consoles in this generation.
Big
right?
fact.
And that was the last year generation when we was talking about what became the next generation, not this current one going in.
Right.
The PS4 and the X1 was the next generation at the time. And, one of a good friends and nice, like, she's overall dope. Like, she kind of caught offense to something that I had said along those lines. And I think she had missed the point that I was saying. Like, no, I'm not saying, like, you have to go out the gate and spend the money on both, but, like, it's a great time for gaming. Like, when those consoles launched, it was really a good time for gaming that I knew that I could see far enough ahead that at the end of this console span, which we're now approaching, there was a reason to own both consoles. Now, if you don't want to, you have the option to not, and you will make a great decision no matter which way you go, which is why I was saying it's a good reason to own both consoles. Now, at the time, we didn't know what Nintendo was doing.
Right.
Later, we found out it was the Switch. And as someone who has not purchased out the gate any Nintendo product in a very long time, I did like the Wii U. I just want to go ahead and say that I really enjoyed my Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
But then despite my beef with the Switch, I still tell people, yo, fam, that is a great console to own, especially if you didn't own the Wii U, because a lot of the stuff that's showing up on the Switch was on the Wii U and nobody bought it. And I remember saying to her, like, I had to respond to her in the comments because we didn't have a whole hour and a half video. I think it was like a 10-minute video that I made my point across. Of course, I left some stuff out, which was, and Ramon, you love me for this. Like, yo, what? There's an announcement? Or there's rumors of an announcement? Time to start saving. And I had got into that. Like, yo, like, son, when by the time the PlayStation meetings start, when they announced the PS4 and we knew it was a real thing, that week I started putting away money for the PS4. Now, could I have just gotten a check the week prior or the week after or the week during and just spent that money? Yes, I could have, because I'm fortunate to be able to do that today. But as a child, I was not, which is how I developed the habit of
putting the money away,
saving your pennies. I'm gonna get this. Yep. I'm gonna get this shit. This shit gonna happen. I can't afford to wait for a Christmas and a half later or condensing, because I had to sacrifice. I sacrificed a Christmas, I sacrificed a birthday to get something for the house that was actually for me. No one else took that loss. Everybody got their Tommy Hilfiger, DKNY, Guess, Ninja Turtles, everything, whatever it is that they want. And I had to sacrifice what I needed to do in order to get that everybody benefited from, right? Because everyone's going to benefit from it regardless. Yeah. But I took the hit. But
they got to wear their Jordans. You ain't get to wear their Jordans.
I didn't get to wear that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get to wear what they had. Yeah. I didn't even get a chance to play the stuff that they had either. Yeah.
Oh, right? You was wearing Jordans, my man?
Nah, I wasn't. Fuck those Jordans. And fuck those kids. So, you know, so like today when I talk about it and when I was talking about it in that conversation, like I really wanted to put that out there. It's not that if a point wasn't represented that you have, share that with us in the comments, reach out to us, and let us know that your point that you have on it.
For sure.
To Warren's point, like, yeah, he had to hit us with the spin on it, and that's fine. I just think overall wise, it's really not. Whether we're going to talk about I don't want to say political because that's terrible, because it allows people to just be like, oh, not this. No, there is a life situation going on, which is the pandemic. Then there's a life situation going on for people of color. Right. And then there's just everyone's overall mental health because of one, if not both. We are all having a terrible 2020 year in general. Now, on a business end, that's going to affect production and releases. So if you are not touched by COVID, if you're not touched about the black stuff that's going on, then the industries that are producing stuff are affected by it, so they can't deliver what they need to deliver. I do think that some of this stuff stopped games from being gold to be ready for launch, and therefore pushed it back. And if we're all in agreement with that, then we all would agree that, or all should or can agree that, hey, maybe a 2021 release, a fresh start, like Ramon is saying, even if it was a March 2021 release that people can bring more stuff to the table, I'm okay with that. But just don't do it right now. Because right now, I think we all need to hold our pennies. Not that it's going to be the end of the world, but we could hold our pennies because what's available, what's about to be available for us,
will always be
doesn't
available.
Really, it's going to be available. You know what I mean? You're going to get it how you're going to get it. Things will always sell out. But for right now, the things that's going to help us enjoy it further doesn't really add up. If I go PC gaming, what does any of this stuff mean to me? I just get a new graphics card. It doesn't matter.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter. So for the console space, to buy a console, there needs to be a reason to own it. Tech today is way bigger than just when we bought a PS2. You know when we bought a PS2? Yo, son, this motherfucker played DVDs, B. Tell me what your Sega Saturn does. What? Oh, my bad. What your Dreamcast do? I can get on the internet now. You gotta wait. Like, that's what we was doing back in the days.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know. It's just a different thing. So if you have something you want to share, you'll let us know, because obviously we can't represent everyone, and we could fight about this all day. So let's just wrap this up. If no one else has anything else to add.
I'm
and
done.
My answer is no. It's not worth it in 2020. 2021, yes.
I think that as a whole, it's person to person. If you buy it, you buy it. If you don't, you don't. That is an option. Do we need it now? Probably not. Will it release now? It's already a schedule, a release date, so it's coming. Is it insensitive? Probably. Is it a distraction to what's going on? That can also be argued. I will say this: I'm done with this conversation. In the whole process of talking about this, I came up with another conversation. This is going in our possible topics for later, and you guys can double check that. And I think this is a very good topic. You guys read it, don't say it, and moving right along. I'm done. I am done.
All right. So I'm signing off as well. My name is Ramon.
It's your boy Tawann.
I'm your boy Snow, monitoring the YouTube
algorithms
to see if you guys are actually watching the video part that you were crying about. And I'm gone.
Yeah, you better watch it.
We out of here, man. Peace.
Peace.